Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Shining Light Video Podcast Show, where I shine a light on my guests and the positivity they're spreading in their communities. I'm Michael Esposito, the host of the show and an insurance agent at USI Insurance Services. I specialize in technology companies and real estate developers and real estate investors. I specialize in helping them get insurance for what they do. But today, we will be speaking about the new Paltz Chamber of Commerce and the passport that we're putting out. I have my guest coming on, and it looks like he's already joined, so we're going to bring him in without any more delay. Hang on one second. Just giving it 1 second. Here he comes. All right. Awesome. Hey, Chris.
Hey, how's it going, Mike?
Doing good. All right. Let me just... My head always gets cut off when the second person comes in. Here we are. Awesome. How are you today?
Doing good. Lots of moving parts here at the chamber. We got a lot of new things ramping up for the fall here, and thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
Definitely. Well, let me give you a proper introduction. This is the Shining Light Video Podcast Show, where I shine a light on my guests and the positivity they're spreading in their communities. My guest today is the Executive Director to the New Paltz Regional Chamber of Commerce. That's a mouthful. He is Chris Short. And Chris Short will be sharing with us today a little quick update on the New Paltz Chamber. But more specifically, we're going to be speaking about the taste of New Paltz and one of the big changes that we made, which is the New Paltz Passport. So Chris, take it away. Why don't you give us a quick update on the New Paltz Chamber, what we're doing during these crazy times?
Yeah, as everybody knows, there's a lot of concern about COVID and large gatherings and things like that. So we had to reinvent what the taste of New Paltz looks like for the chamber. So this year, we're doing something a little bit different. We came across an idea, a couple months ago that I thought would be a great way to engage people to create like an experience. A lot of interest in New Paltz, especially hiking, biking, restaurants, Main Street, all the things that we have to offer around here. So we came up with the idea of the New Paltz Passport. What that does is it basically gives you different locations, different customers, different people that you may have not known existed, from a restaurant around the corner or maybe something a little bit farther out of town. And what it does is it basically is a roadmap using this passport to look into new places and new things when it comes to trying something like out of your comfort zone here in New Paltz.
Yeah, so I mean, the New Paltz Passport that we're kind of speaking about, it's got a bunch of experiences in it. What is, I know that we're building it out right now, but ideally, what are some of the experiences that somebody who picks up this passport should expect seeing in there?
Oh yeah, we're looking to tie in restaurants, breweries, wineries, Main Street stores, retail. Everything that basically speaks about New Paltz. A lot of people asked me when I first came onto the chamber, talking about the taste of New Paltz, that, should it just focus on just one thing? Should it just focus on food? Because historically, the Taste of New Paltz started 30 years ago. We were one of the first pioneers of the local festival. And since then, a lot of different ones have come up. And what we wanted to do for our 30th year is try something a little bit different, to give people, the opportunity to explore Main Street, explore everything from, like I said, retail is going to be in there. We actually have Huguenot Street. There's a little bit of history. You can go visit them, as well as different restaurants, wineries, breweries, that kind of thing. We still have some spots open. There's a lot of interest in it, and we're putting that passport together so you can have like a tangible roadmap to look around the area.
Very, very cool. This is the Shining Light Video Podcast Show, where I shine a light on my guests and the positivity they're spreading in their communities. I'm here with Chris Short, and we're speaking about the New Paltz Passport, which is kind of like the way that we're shifting due to our crazy times right now and adding experiences to the Taste of New Paltz this year through a booklet. Chris, when we speak about this booklet here, this roadmap that we're calling it, and the experiences in there, we're talking about restaurants, breweries, all sorts of different types of experiences. And what makes it different than, let's say, a coupon book or something like that? And what are some of the deals that people might be expecting when they're picking it up?
Sure. Well, it's a little bit different in the regards that you could use this passport. Instead of the Taste of New Paltz traditionally has just been on a Saturday or Sunday out at the fairgrounds. With the passport, you could use this year round, right? So what's great about this for people that are actually purchasing a passport, you could use it for 10 months out of the year, right? So that gives you a reason to come back to some of the vendors that are in there. there's always something new that you can look into, right? So I think, we'll use P&G's as an example. P&G's will be in there. So you could come back if you're up hiking for the weekend, you want to stop off and get something to eat, boom, there's a deal right there. If you want to look for a little bit of history, scoot down to the historic Huguenot Street, take a look at that. There's something to do. And what's great about it is for members, it's $15 a month, right? So where else could you get in front of thousands of potential customers for $15 a month? And what it does is it actually, we're looking to share it with students, share it with local businesses like real estates and banks. We have a lot of interest in New Paltz recently. I've been getting a ton of phone calls of people looking to come here for the weekends, day trip it, kind of explore, take a look at it, and possibly even move to the area. We've seen real estate kind of jump up in the last few months. So, capitalizing on that idea is really an opportunity to take a passport. So for a business, let's just say you're a real estate agency, you have people that are moving to the area. What better way to showcase, things to do, places to see, and, really enjoy what New Paltz, have a taste of New Paltz, and to provide them with one of these passports as a way to welcome them into the neighborhood and enjoy that. New students coming in, families that are bringing their students to college. A lot of people don't really know where or what to do outside of, just a normal, quick Google search. And here it is. It gives a business the opportunity to participate with the chamber and say, hey, here's my business, my service. This is what we're doing. So why don't you stop by and check us out? So I think with that, in regards in today's, crazy world, having everything digital is great, but you know what? There's a little piece of, having that connection one-on-one with a business that's really going to sustain these businesses moving forward. What better way to do that for something as affordable as $15 a month?
Right. Yeah. And I want to break down a little bit of what you just said there, because there's three main components of what you just said there. You talked about the end user, the person getting the passport, who's getting to use all the experiences that are built into this passport. So think about that when you're out there and about, and when one of these passports come your way, you're going to be getting a passport, a booklet that has all sorts of different experiences that are local to the area and are going to help open your eyes up to new experiences in the area. The second part to that you're speaking about when you're saying the members for $15 a month, we're talking about the advertisers in there. When you look at the amount of pages, I think it's 21 pages for the advertisers, they're these local brick and mortar businesses. And keep brick and mortar in your mind, because I'm going to ask you a question about brick and mortar in a second here. But they're these local brick and mortar businesses, and even the services that are included in there, the service type businesses included in there as well. But they're what make up this community, and they're going to be found in this booklet. And those businesses, you business owners, if you're listening, you're going to be featured in this booklet, and it's going to have a shelf life of more than 10 months, and even more, because some people might hold on to it as a memory, and they look back in it, and there you still are. But it's going to have a shelf life of 10 months. And Chris, we're going to talk about this in a second, about what kind of prizes people can get if they hand in a filled passport with stamps and stickers all filled and lined up in it. And thirdly, what you spoke about is, now it's kind of like tripping out of my mind, but you were just speaking about the distribution of all of it. Is that it's going to be going out to the college students, it's going to be located in banks and different financial institutions, so that people can be, it's accessible to the people, and to people that are even well outside of our area. Our reach goes down. The New Paltz Regional Chamber's reach goes down right down to New York City. I can vouch for it myself. My parents come up from Queens every year for the Taste of New Paltz. So that's one little vouch. So that's just a little nutshell as to everything that, breaking down everything that Chris just shared there. Chris, here's my question for you about the brick and mortar. When you, Sheila, myself, John Storley, who is also co-chairing the Taste of New Paltz, we're all sitting in a room, and we got to bring Jerry Amato in, who did great notes for us and helped bring this together for us. When we were kind of brainstorming this idea of the Taste of New Paltz and what we would do and how we would make it different, something that you said and that we all felt the same way about in the room was, we want to find a way to link back to the brick and mortars. Our chamber, it's a wonderful chamber. It's a great chamber. It provides a lot of services. I mean, myself, I provide one of the services in being that insurance, and of course, real estate agents and all sorts of services. But something that we wanted to do was tie back to the New Paltz community and tie back to the Main Street and of course the streets that come out of Main Street, but the brick and mortars. Can you speak a little bit to that and maybe bring us back into that room when we were all sitting around that round table and sharing that discussion live and in person and not with masks on?
Yeah, that's a big ask there. Let's see. So what I was looking at is, in a world of online shopping, obviously it's become a necessity in recent months. But I think what we've lost is that touch with community. And I think that's really shown over the past couple of months, where we started shopping local, right? Supporting local restaurants, supporting local vendors, and really understanding what community means. And that was really the idea behind this, was how can we create that environment again where people are out there supporting the community? So coming up with this idea really was a way to showcase that all in one spot. Giving people an opportunity to bring that traffic in, right? Those people that are actually walking and visiting, right? Things are starting to loosen up. Things are looking good. So what we want to do is encourage those people to come in and visit. You were talking earlier about the reach that we have. Definitely, from 50 miles easily, people that come in for, a weekend or for the day, that's a huge radius of people. And it's no secret to know that, a lot of people are coming here for, the great things that we have to offer, all the hiking trails, the biking, and all of that kind of stuff. So what we're doing in tandem with this, and this is, we'll tease it out a little bit, is we're redeveloping the Taste of New Paltz site, right? So behind the scenes, we're working on that. And what we want to do is actually list all of that around here. So we can have the ability to have the passports available on the site, so that way you can order them if you're from out of town and get all of those benefits. So when you do come visit, if you come up for Christmas or in the fall, obviously everybody loves the leaves up here, harvest festivals, there's a lot of great farmers markets and, farms where people love to visit. I mean, what better way to support the local area by, getting a passport and really reinforcing that, it's that local sense of community that this all drives around.
Yeah, and that passport, you just mentioned again the distribution, and I want to make that very known for everybody, because who we're speaking to right now, we're speaking to people that are going to be using the passport, but we're also speaking to the business owners that may be able to partake in this year's passport. So it's really important that you understand that the distribution of this passport is going to be not just local to the New Paltz community, but even outside. We're going to be able to sell it online, and we're going to have it hosted in different locations around the Hudson Valley region.
Mm-hmm.
Chris, on the brick and mortar portion, you spoke a lot about the consumer, or the participants, in terms of the people coming and going into. But let's speak a little bit about the connection that the New Paltz Regional Chamber of Commerce wants to make with these local businesses, these local brick and mortars. Let's speak a little bit about that connection that we're trying to make with them.
Sure. I think in a day right now where, everybody is running lean and mean with their businesses, right? The Chamber of Commerce, I'm trying to reinvent the chamber that we can actually bring resources and information and talent to the table. I've got a great staff with the board. I'm bringing on a whole bunch of new consultants. We're working on the Business Academy behind the scenes with a whole brand new set of classes. And what I want people to realize is that for the brick and mortar, you're busy running your business day in and day out. And the Chamber's role is really here to be an extension of your team. And I think for a long time, people, trying to figure out how to do it all themselves. And you can't, right? We all know that. So here at the Chamber, I've been getting phone calls from businesses saying, hey, I need help with marketing. Hey, can you help me find, maybe like an intern to help with our social media? Can you, connect us? Can we do some strategic partnerships with other vendors and other people within the community? Hey, I'm looking for an accountant. How does this all work? We're that go-to resource, right? So I wanted to use this as a way to re-engage those businesses and remind them that, we're not just, handing out business cards. We actually have a ton of resources, especially over the past few months. I've been talking to a lot of partners, a lot of our, community members that have things to offer. So when you get stuck and you're not really sure, what's the next step for our business in this new, business environment, that's what the Chamber's here for. I'm in touch with people in Albany. I'm in touch with people here in the county. And I'm also, scouring the net for new technologies, new opportunities. So for you not to have, those hours and days to kind of dig all that information up, that's what we're here for, is to kind of give you those resources so that way you could better run your business. That's what the Chamber's designed to do here in 2020.
Yeah, and I love that you're talking about give you the resources. And a little plug here for the Business Academy. I like the idea of the Business Academy. Could you just share real quick what the Business Academy is?
Sure. Before, in the fall, we started running some pilot classes. We decided to put together, this academy to kind of solicit what are those skills or tools or information that you may not know where to go or how to make those connections, right? So I've got about 15 years of marketing background, And I put together some initial classes to kind of get a temperature for what people are looking for. Everything from SEO to Facebook, email marketing campaigns, simple things like that. And I found that there was a lot of interest, So what we're doing now is I actually have a whole new schedule that we're building that's bringing it to the next level. I've got people coming in to do revamping your Google My Business.
Now,
SEO.
wait 1 second. When you say people, because I know some of the people that you're bringing in, I would actually call them experts, right?
They are experts. They are experts. I don't want to tease them out just yet.
That's right. I'm not saying any names.
I got some full, scheduling going on. So I think what's really going to be great is bringing in those resources. Google My Business, SEO 2.0. We're going to be talking about influencer marketing, how to get involved with that. Everything from customer service, customer outreach, looking it through the lens of, how to engage your employees in this post-COVID world. How do you make those connections? How do you build a team that's going to weather the storm and move forward? These are all the phone calls I've been fielding for months. And I'm building this quiet little Avengers team in the background that we're going to be releasing very shortly. And putting that out to the public. We're going to make it accessible to everybody, so that way they could come in, learn something, take it back to their teams, and really move forward really strong into 2021.
Very, very cool. Well, let me just reintroduce you if anybody doesn't know who you are yet. This is the Shining Light Video Podcast Show, where I shine a light on my guests and the positivity they're spreading in their communities. I'm here with Chris Short, the Executive Director to the New Paltz Regional Chamber of Commerce. We're speaking about some updates about the Chamber, but also more specifically, we're speaking about the passport that we're putting out this September for the local businesses to be able to promote what they offer in their restaurants, in their breweries, the experiences in the New Paltz region to the public in the New Paltz region, the Hudson Valley region, and even down to New York City. We just spoke about what these experiences entail, that it's about $15 a month, and we spoke about these experiences and how they're going to offer a discount and everything. So Chris, I'm going to ask you the tough question. I'm going to ask you the question that most of these business owners are wondering. They're saying, hey, look, times are tough, $15 a month, that sounds nice and all, but times are tough. What's the return on investment? How can I see a return on this? How does this look for my business going into 2021?
Sure. I mean, I think, outside of the obvious, right, if the people that are taking those passports, they have to bring it to you, right? So for a lot of things, if you're talking about a billboard or a radio ad, you may not be able to make that connection, right? And you're kind of, taking a leap of faith that's going to drive traffic. Here with the passport, what we want to do is actually get it in people's hands, right? So then that way there's that tangible piece. So when somebody comes to you and says, hey, I have my passport here, you could see directly that one-to-one connection of somebody stopping into your business, right? It's going a little bit old school, right? And that's kind of the thought behind this is, how do we make a personal connection? Somebody actually has to talk to you, and you can get to know them better, and you can build that customer service, relationship. When somebody comes into your point of sale, you're coming in as a restaurant, that person's there because they have to get a stamp or a sticker or kind of, identify that they were physically in your location. So how good is it for people in a business to see that traffic actually come in and show that the promotion is actually working?
And to add to that, and I want you to elaborate a little bit further on your thought there, but to add to that, these people that are coming in with the passport, what makes it different than a coupon book is they're investing in the passport. They have to purchase the passport. The only way they're getting it potentially for free is if one of the financial institutions or one of the colleges or places, locations that we have our booklets at invest in buying a bulk amount and want to give them to their clients or to their students for free. That's the only way. Outside of that, anybody coming in with a passport has actually invested in this passport, wants to use it in your business. Is that right?
Yeah, absolutely. It's, somebody's taking the time, they see, all right, there's enough value in this booklet for me to go out and explore these different, businesses and locations. So, there's still spots available. What's great about this too is it almost gamifies how they can interact with New Paltz. So one of the back end pieces of this is for everyone that fills out their book completely, right? They visit all these locations and they get a stamp and they've stopped in, they've, bought your service or your products, and you get that stamp. Then what they get to have the opportunity to do is, in the past, we've had something called the Great Giveaway, and that is $2,000 to $3,000 worth of prize packs that we put together with all the local vendors that we work with, and that person has to complete that passport, and they get entered to win right? So there's some skin in the game here where they actually not only are getting great discounts from what, you know, all the businesses are offering, but then the long game here is towards the end of the year, they submit that passport, and that gives them a reason to come back repeatedly to make sure that whole thing is filled out, because there is an opportunity to put them into the raffle and then actually win that. And in the past, like I said, we've had between $2,000 and $3,000 worth of stuff that are actually, you know, pieced together from, you know, Nights at Mohawk to, you know, different services or different packages, you know, wine packages and, you know, different things like that. So there's a lot of things on the tail end of this that encourages people not only just to purchase it and come to you once, but then for them to actually see, all right, I have to go through everyone in this book over the next couple months, get to know their business, get to visit their shop, and actually be there in person. So that way they have a chance to, you know, have that big win next year. So that's definitely something that is different than most, you know, coupon or, you know, encouraging books like this.
Right. And, you know, Chris, you have a really great marketing background. And so I'm going to ask you a question that we didn't talk about much, but when we're speaking about ROI, something, and I have a bit of a marketing background, something that always kind of troubled me. Like I worked in the Yellow Book. I worked in the Yellow Page industry. And, you know, you have all these leads. People say, oh, yeah, you know, somebody came in. But how did you convert them into a customer? So the person comes in, they buy a service or whatever, and then they walk out the door. How do you convert them into a customer? So, Chris, could you share with us a little maybe idea or a strategy that you could, that somebody could use if they're a business owner and they're offering a buy one, get one, or a 10% off discount or some sort of discount, and somebody walks in with a passport? How do I turn that person into a customer?
Oh, it's real easy. It's that personal connection, right? I think in this world of digital, everybody's kind of, you know, linked up in their own little world. And to have somebody that takes the time to come into your business and, you know, kind of talk to you, you should go above and beyond to kind of connect with them, right? Find out what the, you know, how did you find out about it? You know, why did you come here? What are you looking for? And what you're doing is you're building an experience. People can buy stuff, right? But people are looking for an experience, especially now after the past 4 to 6 months, right? We haven't been doing our normal kind of routine, hanging out with friends and family, doing this kind of thing. So what better way to re-engage with somebody to show them what you represent? What is your why as a business, right? Get to know the owner, you know, the chef or the restaurant owner that comes out and comes to your table and says, hey, I heard you came by with your passport. How do you like your meal? What do you think? This is great. Thank you for coming in. And I think people are looking for personal connection now more than ever. And this is a great way to break that ice, right? It gives you an opportunity to talk to them, get to know them, and put a face to your business, and vice versa. Put a face to your customer. It's not just somebody in, you know, coming in and just throwing money at you, that they're there and they want to learn more about your business. And I think this is a great way to reconnect, especially on our community level, to introduce those products and services to people that are hungry for a real connection.
That's right. Yep. And thank you so much for adding that, because that is exactly where I was going with it, is that any business owner who invests the time and the energy and the money to be part of the New Paltz Chambers Passport book, treat these people that come in as a VIP, because I guarantee you, if you share with them your story, why you came, why you opened your business, why you came to New Paltz, and you share with them all the other great experiences that are in New Paltz, they're going to come back and they're going to remember you, and they're going to come back and pay the full price for their meal or their experience or whatever product or service you're offering. What Chris just said there is really a nugget of gold, and honestly, it's probably just a little taste as to what you get when you do join the Chamber of Commerce. Chris, could you just quickly just tell us one little nugget of why somebody should join the Chamber today?
Oh, if you join the channel, I mean, this gets you into the inner circle, right? We've redesigned how we're entertaining new business in this new climate, right? So engaging with your customer, coming in, you know, to the loop. You could give me a call any day. I have constantly booking phone calls and Zoom meetings, and now just starting to, you know, reach out for lunch meetings to really sit down and understand how I can help people, from, you know, how do I redesign my website, to, hey, I don't know what's going on with paid marketing. How should I start? To, you know, what does this look like? You know, what are you seeing? What are you hearing from Albany? You know, you're that person that's there giving advocacy to the local area. You know, how is this connecting me to the business market? Those conversations, I mean, I'm a phone call away, right? A phone call and an email, and set it up. So if you don't have the answers, I'll get them for you. And that's the value of being part of the Chamber, is really making those connections, not only for your business and for your staff and all the people that you support, but then for your customers and even potential customers down the road.
And that's exactly what I was looking for, is that you are so accessible. You're so accessible to your members. We speak about it all the time on how engaged you are with your members and how you make time on your calendar to sit with them, go through business plans and marketing plans and all sorts of different things. So to me, that is probably one of, because there's so many other great reasons, but one of the best reasons to join the chamber. But before we wrap up the show, I had you on today to speak about the passport. So let's just give one quick last blurb before we wrap up the show. Quickly, what is the passport, Chris? Why should somebody join it, and how much is it to get in?
Sure. So the new Paltz Passport is, businesses local, from restaurants to services to products to, selling T-shirts to coffee mugs to kayaks and breweries. Whatever you want to put in there, this is something that we really want to give people an opportunity to put their brands in front of potential customers. So for $15 a month as a member, you can actually get a page in the Passport and share that, one-time deal that really you want to give to somebody to come in and say, you know what, let me go check that person out. Draw them in, build a connection, and find out, what makes them tick. What can they do to come back? That's the whole point of this, is to actually come back, get repeat business. We all go to the same restaurants. Why? Because it's something that we enjoy. It's the atmosphere. It's the person that knows your name. It's the person that does that. Why do you go back to a certain store? It's because, they went above and beyond to find that perfect item for, for a birthday present or an anniversary present. It's that customer service that brings you back, right? Here's the perfect opportunity to put yourself in there. And our plans are to put it out there, offer it up for anyone that wants to share it with their friends, family, for, potential clients. Like I said, from real estate to college students to, families that are moving into the area, anyone that wants to do this, people that are coming up on the weekends from the city, people coming down from Albany. We get phone calls every day at the chamber. So this is the perfect way to showcase your business and actually tie this into something that's going to make, a chance to maybe move the needle for you and maybe get that, brand loyalty for new customers, to have them keep coming back. Christmas is around the corner. It's a little warm out there, but, give them a reason to come back and shop with you.
That's awesome. Thank you so much, Chris. Yeah, and coming from myself as a chamber member and a co-chair to this passport, I would say that this is the time. This is the time to invest in your business and invest in your local community. I understand times are tough right now because of everything going on in our world, but there's no better way to draw people into your location than to offer them a little something and then give them the VIP treatment, because they're going to come in and they're going to come back. And that's really what this is all about. And as a chamber member, we have your best interest in mind. We want to do the best possible job for you, and we want to do the best we can for our community. So if you're a business in the local community, in the Hudson Valley region, yes, the New Paltz Passport is geared towards the New Paltz community, but we also sit in the center of the Hudson Valley. So if you're a business in the Hudson Valley, reach out to Chris. His contact information is going to be in the comments section. My contact information will be there as well. Reach out to us. Find out how you could become a member. Find out how you could become part of this passport, which is going to be really tremendous. And as we said, its reach is going to be well beyond a 50-mile radius from the New Paltz area. So find out how you could be a part of all of this stuff. We have your best interest in mind, and we want to find out how we can help you best, so you can share that with us as well. This has been the Shining Light Video Podcast Show, where I shine a light on my guests and the positivity they're spreading in their communities. Chris, before I wrap up the show, I'm going to give you the mic for the final say here. Any last messages that you want to share with everybody?
Yeah, I think just, follow us on Facebook, Instagram, newpaltzchamber.org. Sign up for a newsletter. There's a lot of stuff that's coming out in the next few months now that restrictions have been lifted. So we're going to be releasing a lot of new programs. We got a golf event. We've got teaching classes. We've got all kinds of stuff that are going to really be rolling out here. And the Passport is one of the first ones that we're cutting loose out into the wild. So if you want to stay in touch with us, the more you engage, the more we'll give it to you.
That's right. That's right. He's Chris Short, the Executive Director to the New Paltz Regional Chamber of Commerce. He's awesome. Contact him. Contact all of us on the chamber. If you know anybody who's part of the chamber, reach out to them and find out what they feel, how they feel about the chamber. And I guarantee you they're going to be very happy. Find out about the New Paltz Passport and get signed up for it. Chris, thank you so much for coming on the show today. I really appreciate it. I always love chatting with you. And stay happy and stay healthy, everyone. Talk to you soon.
Will do.
Bye.
Thanks a lot.